Thank you very much. It's a great day. I said, what the hell? I'm not good enough? I'm not good. When you talk about the Epstein hoax, what happens is you're not talking about how well we've done. We think it's bad to talk about it because it gets away from the subject of how well the Republicans are doing.
One of the reasons no one talks about why we have the most secure border in the history of this nation.
But we have a Mexico problem. We have a Colombia problem. Meaning Colombia, the country. We're doing very well. Drugs coming into our country are greatly slowed, as you can imagine.
You know, Jesse, how convenient was it as the shutdown ended? Out comes the Epstein files. And for like 2 hours last night, it captivated the lemmings.
People were not just inconvenienced, but they were also damaged and harmed when the Democrats shut down the government, that we still saw the best of America.
You know, as Garcia was just talking about, right? Just the frequency with which Trump's name was mentioned, he was the subject.
And I hope that we don't have to deal with any more Koppelheimies, but I'm afraid that we're going to.
What a job you did. What a job you did. Are you proud of yourselves? How did you catch BBC like that? We have good sources. Honestly, congratulations. You did a great service to a lot of countries, a lot of great human beings, if you want to know the truth.
Margaret Taylor Greene, the congresswoman, was on CBS News. She was talking about how the files should be released. We anticipate that a vote will happen in the House. You have the report about the investigation today.
I don't care about it, released or not. What I think you should do, if you're going to do it, then you have to go into Epstein's friends.
It's the political breakup heard round the world.
The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor.
They already do. I think they have 50,000 pages already. Look, this is a Democrat hoax. This is a hoax put out by the Democrat, and a few Republicans have gone along with it because they're weak and ineffective.
I'm sorry, what's embarrassing, honestly, is sitting around covering up for child trafficking.
What the hell is up with that beard? And I thought to myself, I'm the Vice President of the United States, and this guy is busting my balls for having a beard.
Sergio was a critical piece.
If that were ever reversed, it would be a disaster. Frankly, it would be a national security problem. Hence, they call it the big, beautiful bill, or the one big, beautiful. I call it the great, big, beautiful bill. It's an amazing bill. The Democrats' shutdown has inflicted massive harm. They caused 20,000 flights to be canceled or delayed. The filibuster, terminate the filibuster. It'll never happen again.
You know what they call a soldier with an IQ of 80?
Nobody knows what magnets are, and not overly sophisticated, but to build a magnet system would take 2 years.
Let's be very clear. I never met this man. You were lying.
No, there's one where Epstein says, I would really like to buy a Ford.
And I am so sorry. No, I'm so sorry. Let me just finish.
Email.
Literally, the Epstein emails say, I can take down Donald Trump. Now,
why are we pretending as if these documents might actually get released by the Department of Justice?
You really think it's never?
No way.
He said he wanted to be transparent, but we still don't have any of these answers here.
Quote, it's astonishing really how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out.
Well, I think that's the part that has so many people confused.
It's the political breakup heard round the world.
I'm confident that Sergio will do an outstanding job and make our country and all of his friends very proud. But I'm very proud of Sergio. I've known him for a long time.
Donald Trump, someone that Epstein once called his closest friend for 10 years. The emails and text messages show that Epstein continued to be focused on Trump when he became president, questioning his sanity, psychoanalyzing him as someone who feels alone and might, quote, crack, even suggesting without explanation in one email, quote, I am the one able to take him down.
People were not just inconvenienced, but they were also damaged and harmed.
Oh, he's got a lot of Italian blood in him. Yes, he is.
Well, you must know what your name is.
My name is Donald. I'll be honest with you, Sergio. I said some people, when they don't like Sergio, they don't like him, but when they like him...
I think it's possible for the president to veto this legislation.
I think it'll be very hard.
Sergio, congratulations. I know you're going to do a fantastic job.
It is truly inspiring to see everyone gather here together, united in support of this remarkable initiative and community.
We are going to be handing out bonus checks of $10,000 to TSOs.
Now they just redacted the woman's name who actually said that Trump didn't do anything wrong. This is embarrassing. This is an embarrassing PR stunt by the Democrats to try to distract from the shutdown that's now ended. They're trying to...
You were one of his biggest supporters. What do you think happened here?
Well, Dana, thank you for having me on, and that is true. I stood with President Trump when virtually no one else did.
Will you change anything else with tariffs? I don't think it'll be necessary. We just got a little bit of a rollback on some foods, like coffee, as an example, where the prices of coffee are a little bit high. Now they'll be on the low side in a very short period of time.
Epstein is a sexy topic. We all talk about it in our private lives. We talk about it.
I, Sergio Gore.
I, Sergio Gore.
This little excursion that they took us on. Republicans never wanted a shutdown.
Right, I'm sorry. What's embarrassing, honestly, is sitting around covering up for child trafficking. It's not the Democrats who made up child trafficking. It's not the Democrats who made up Jeffrey Epstein as a prosecuted child trafficker. It is the reality of the situation. And honestly, the reason why everyone is suspicious about Donald Trump is because he's acting suspicious.
The president has prioritized America's foster care children.
Be even much better. And in terms of affordability, it's not a good word to the Democrats, it's a good word for us.
He had his own personal lawyer go negotiate the deal with Ghislaine Maxwell.
The most hurtful thing he said, which is absolutely untrue, is he called me a traitor.
And I am so sorry. No, I'm so sorry. Let me just
Epstein's
finish.
email.
Literally, the Epstein emails say, I can take down Donald Trump. Now,
those are the types of words used that can radicalize people against me and put my life in danger.
What a job you did. What a job you did. Are you proud of yourselves? How did you catch BBC like that? We have good sources. Honestly, congratulations. You did a great service to a lot of countries, a lot of great human beings, if you want to know the truth.
why would he be able to take down Donald Trump unless Donald Trump knows something?
I would like to focus on Rico a little bit today because he is not only a 20-year officer.
Unfortunately, it has all come down to the Epstein files, and that is shocking. And, you know, I stand with these women. I stand with rape victims.
Why are we pretending as if these documents might actually get released by the Department of Justice?
You really think it's never?
No way.
You know, as Garcia was just talking about, right? Just the frequency with which Trump's name was mentioned, he was the subject.
I also have Ashley next to me. Ashley.
I believe the country deserves transparency in these files, and I don't believe that rich, powerful people should be protected.
The Democrats' shutdown has inflicted massive harm. They caused 20,000 flights to be canceled or delayed.
Since when is Donald Trump afraid of taking a political hit? The idea that Donald Trump will see this on his desk and say, well, this is just too sensitive politically. I can't veto this.
They might have a
veto
proof majority.
They cheated. They changed some words coming out of my mouth. That's worse than what CBS did.
What kind of insight did Epstein claim to have into Trump, Andrew? And I say that in the context of the fact that we know for many years the two men were very close.
Very close, very close. Trump had said in that New York Magazine article where he called him a, quote, terrific guy that they had been, he had known him for 15 years at that point.
Quote, it's astonishing really how hard he's fighting to stop the Epstein files from coming out.
I actually think this fatalism, saying Trump will just absolutely veto, is actually an excuse for him.
You know, Jesse, how convenient was it as the shutdown ended? Out comes the Epstein files. And for like 2 hours last night, it captivated the lemmings.
I think that's the part that has so many people confused.
Well, congratulations, Sergio. You're going to be a great ambassador.
He described Trump as impulsive, isolated, in his own words, quote, nuts and dangerous.
You're a great representative to the country of India, which the president and I both love. Sergio was a critical piece.
Don't forget what they've done to our country. I also want to call for a termination to the filibuster.
You've got good people around you, and Sergio did as much as anybody to ensure.
Look, it's getting results. There's a discharge petition, and Republicans are going to end up voting for it. That is getting results. And if Donald Trump vetoes this legislation, then he might as well just say, I'm guilty. Everyone will know what's
I have no idea what's in the files. I can't even guess.
So today, though, we have many other TSA officers here that I'm going to be handing bonus checks.
I think it's a great testament to you, Sergio.
Nobody cares what do you mean?
Nobody cares if Donald Trump vetoes it. To Dan's point, he doesn't give a damn about somebody saying, "Oh my God, you vetoed it. I can't believe you vetoed it."
Sergio Gore, you're going to do a hell of a job, man.
The Democrats will do it immediately if they ever assumed office, which hopefully they won't.
What Sergio said, Mr. President, you've done a lot.
You look at India and Pakistan, look at so many wars.
Let me be clear. It's the right thing to do to release the files. I want to be clear about that. It's the right thing to do. Donald Trump doesn't care about the right thing to do.
I know Sergio was instrumental in helping you achieve that.
We had a record set, but today is the highest of them all.
This man said he can stand in New York and kill somebody, and there will be no consequence.
So with that, Rico, I want to present to you a check and say thank you from the American people. Appreciate it. Ashley, thank you.
Sleepy Joe Biden, the inflation.
We know Sergio will do a great job, so congratulations, Sergio. You're going to do a phenomenal job.
Thank you.
Thank you. What's your name, please? That inures to jobs and, very importantly, to 401ks, which have also set a record today. A record high for the people that have 401ks. Also, I want to thank Walmart.
Thank you so much for all your work. Take care. Thank you, Sergio, for what you've done.
Make sure that's the right thing. Hands first. Thank you.
Nobody likes to fight.
President Trump has been answering questions about all of this, essentially saying that he believes that they need to, they being the Department of Justice, uncover all of the different relationships between Epstein and these various individuals. Obviously, Reid Hoffman, one of them, Larry Summers, one of them, Bill Clinton. I do think we just need to make it very clear that these investigations have already happened.
When was that going to happen? Remember, I said all the time during my campaign, we will never be a socialist country. And that's right. We turned out to have a communist in New York City. And if you look at his views, those are the views of a communist, not a socialist.
And I hope that we don't have to deal with any more corporal Jaimes, but I'm afraid that we're going to.
I said, what the hell? I'm not good enough? I'm not good.
When the Democrats shut down the government, that we still saw the best of America.
The filibuster, terminate the filibuster. It'll never happen again. All of this has been made possible by Melania's incredible devotion to America's youth. Spends a lot of time on it and loves it. What a combination. First lady, second lady, what a combination. Thank you. Well, I will be. I'll abide by the deal. The deal is very good. We're not going to be giving $1.5 trillion to people that came in from jails and from the gangs and drug dealers.
Which was about this MRI that President Trump said that he had.
And he did a big thing today. He's going to be on television tonight with the legendary Sean.
Essentially, he says that he doesn't know why he got an MRI. He was asked about it again, and then said that it was part of a routine checkup. Well, part of the reason that we've been pushing for answers on this MRI is because an MRI is not part of a routine checkup.
Extremely non-controversial secretary, Robert F. Kennedy Jr. But he's right.
He said he wanted to be transparent, but we still don't have any of these answers here.
And he's a tough guy. I liked him. I get along with him. The new president of Syria. And we'll do everything we can to make Syria successful because that's part of the Middle East. We have peace now in the Middle East, first time that anyone can remember that ever happening, as well as so many wonderful young people who have experienced foster care.
That's a little bit of an extra challenge getting through the TSA security checkpoints.
I think that President Trump can do that if he refocuses his effort. And I think that's what I want to see.
Everything's going to be great. Rates are going to go down. Payments are going to go down. Everything's going to go down. Right behind me, by the way, in about 2 years from now, we'll use a much bigger room. That's a knockout paddle. It's called a knockout. It looks pretty nice. We're going to go from this room into a room that seats a few more people.
We're grateful for this TSA employees behind us today.
The tariffs are very high on India because of the Russian oil, and they've stopped doing the Russian oil. It's been reduced very substantially. Yeah, we're going to be bringing the tariffs down. The ballroom, they've wanted it for 150 years. And they're getting it.
I think that's remarkable. We need more people like that in this world today, and I think they're all great Americans.
We're going to issue a dividend to our middle-income people and lower-income people of about $2,000, and we're going to use the remaining tariffs to lower our debt. We're going to be lowering our debt, which is a national security thing.
I was a 19-year-old kid. That entire time.
Obviously, any threats to your safety are completely unacceptable. But we have seen these kinds of attacks or criticism from the president at other people. It's not new. And with respect, I haven't heard you speak out about it until it was directed at you.
Dana, I think that's fair criticism. And I would like to say humbly, I'm sorry for taking part.
Fostering the future program in coordination with our wonderful First Lady's office. They're coordinating, and they've already been coordinating for quite some time.
You have the Epstein files, which has been talked about here. I don't have a strong opinion about this, but it's very likely and clear that the only way we're probably going to get into this is some sort of transparency around it.
So we're going to pay a lot of money to the people. They're going to go out and buy their own health care, and we're going to forget this Obamacare madness. If that were ever reversed, it would be a disaster. Frankly, it would be a national security problem. The biggest number ever is a tiny fraction of that for any any country, China, the United States, the biggest number of, if you look at the past administration, Biden, he did less.
Eric Alvarez from Omaha, Nebraska, who is with us today. Where is Eric? Where is it? Stand up. Good-looking guy.
Harold, I did look at the a lot of the Epstein file emails, and you were mentioned in them. There was one where Epstein.
But I shook the hand of this corpsman who's probably close to 100 years old. And he said, you know, we talked for a little bit, we chatted for a little bit.
Good-looking guy. Eric and his siblings were placed in foster care for a year.
Let's be very clear. I never met this man. You were lying.
No, there's one where Epstein says, I would really like to buy a Ford.
What the hell is up with that beard? And I thought to myself, I'm the vice president of the United States, and this guy is busting my balls for having a beard.
Wouldn't you say? I mean, I think you better say yes, otherwise I'm in big trouble. Otherwise, I'm all by myself up here, Eric. That would be good.
Thank you very much. It's a great day. We now are at a very low point. We're going to be hitting 1.5% pretty soon. So we're at a low point, and he was a high point. We did that.
Well done, Mr. President. Great job. Thanks for getting us
Tracking the Georgia RICO case and all, did you see the news on that today?
Which one?
The Georgia case, the RICO case. Apparently they're continuing with the investigation into you and your allies related to this 2020 election. Not tracking that?
You mean the Fannie Willis case?
I think so.
I can't imagine it. I thought that case was over. I was told that case was still.
Have you ruled out the pardon for Ghislaine Maxwell?
I haven't even thought about it. I mean, I haven't thought about it for months. Maybe I haven't thought about it at all. You're just asking me a question, but I don't talk about that. I don't rule it in or out. I don't even think about it.
What Epstein, sir?
I call it the Great Big Beautiful Bill. I changed the name a little bit to make it even more sublime. JD and I and Scott and all of us got together and we said, let's give it a shot.
The Great Big Beautiful Bill, which has been mischaracterized, but now people they don't want to talk about it.
Marjorie Taylor Greene, the congresswoman, was on CBS News. She was talking about how the files should be released. We anticipate that a vote will happen in the House. Do you have about the investigation today?
I don't care about it, released or not. What I think you should do, if you're going to do it, then you have to go into Epstein's friends.
Hence it's called, they call it the Big Beautiful Bill or the One Big Beautiful. I call it the Great Big Beautiful Bill. It's an amazing bill.
Are you saying Israel is pushing the president of the United States to cover up the Epstein files? And what evidence do you have that that is the case?
I simply just asked out loud.
This Reid Hoffman spent a lot of time on the island. I was never in this island. Bill Clinton went there supposedly 28 times. You're going to have to look into his friends because if they're going to do that, and I think the perfect guy to do it would be Southern District or somebody like Jay Clayton. I understand that's who's been assigned.
But does the congresswoman have a point?
Does Marjorie Taylor Greene have a point?
Does she have a point, though?
I know nothing about her.
Well, please suppose. Hold the phone.
Well, they can have whatever they want. They already do. I think they have 50,000 pages already. Look, this is a Democrat hoax. This is a hoax put out by the Democrat, and a few Republicans have gone along with it because they're weak and ineffective.
We want to see Syria become a country that's very successful, and I think this leader can do it. I really do. I think this leader can do it. And people said he's had a rough past. We've all had rough pasts. But he has had a rough past, and I think, frankly, if you didn't have a rough past, you wouldn't have a chance.
But this is a Democrat hoax to get away from the fact that they just lost the shutdown, that they've lost the elections, they lost the big election, to me, in a record number. They lost the popular vote, they lost the swing states, they lost everything. I think it was 312 to 220-something. So this is a way of not talking about that. It's a hoax. This is no different than Russia. And it's headed up by Democrats and some very weak Republicans.
I think it's just looking at
Very few.
timeline for when you might release more of those files.
Which ones?
Democrats have stayed.
I don't know about those files. I know nothing about it, but I understand they released like 40 or 50,000 pages already. And nobody. I will say this: if they had anything, they would have used it before the election. Okay? I can't tell you what they put in since the election. But if they had anything, you don't think they would have used it before the election? They would have gladly used it before the election.
So speaking of this,
The Jennifer, go ahead.
why was your team encouraging Congresswoman Boebert and Congresswoman Meese to pursue this?
I thought that I was deathly allergic to shellfish. And the reason I thought I was deathly allergic to shellfish is because when I was 16 or 17, I had some terrible allergic reaction.
Tucker Carlson hosted white nationalist Nick Fuentes on his podcast, didn't question Fuentes about his vile language or views. You did speak at a conference hosted by Fuentes back in 2022.
President Erdogan is a great leader. Erdogan's a great leader and very much in favor of what's happening in Syria. We have to make Syria work. Syria is a big part of the Middle East. And I will tell you, I think it is working and really well. We're working also with Israel on, getting along with Syria, getting along with everybody.
I was sitting there and they served steak and lobster.
Faith-based, thank you. Faith-based nonprofits.
So what did my dumbass do? I ate the lobster and I was fine, and I haven't been allergic to shellfish ever since.
Yet radical left policies in states nationwide. We've gotten a lot of the additional bodies that they said they were going to. They've worked very hard to do that. So we have peace in the Middle East.
We think it's bad to talk about it because it gets away from the subject of how well the Republicans are doing.
We're dealing with the radical left. It's not easy, but we're winning it.
I did speak at his conference back in 2022. However, I don't know Nick Fuentes.
We have the greatest economy. We have the largest investment ever made in our country's history. We have all of these great things happen. We have very little inflation, whereas he had record-setting, the biggest inflation in history. All of these things are good. And
Switzerland came out last week about trade development talks with Switzerland. We're reporting here a deal that would lower their rates.
With Switzerland?
Yeah.
We're working on a deal to get their tariffs a little bit lower.
when you talk about the Epstein hoax, what happens is you're not talking about how well we've done.
We hit Switzerland very hard. We want Switzerland to remain successful, and we're a part of Switzerland.
And that's the whole purpose behind them. They want to waste people's time, and some of the dumber Republicans like that.
There's a very subject. All they get is
It's mostly Democrats.
all we get is same again. Today's like probably happened. Yes.
There he is. Gonna embarrass my friend a little bit, and of course you all know that.
Closest is Switzerland.
Switzerland, what, you have something to do with Switzerland? He wants to buy a nice watch. He wants to buy a nice Rolex, right? We'll give Rolex some publicity because Rolex they've been very nice,
We spent time here. I just got back from a big trip, a very successful trip with China and with, all the countries. I saw many countries over there.
You know what they call a soldier with an IQ of 80?
Japan, amazing place. We stopped at...
I don't know what happened to Marjorie. She's a nice woman, but I don't know what happened. She's lost her way, I think. I have to view the presidency as a worldwide situation, not locally.
Marjorie Taylor Greene said, oh, gee, I'm spending too much time overseas. So let's say I don't meet with China. You know what's happened right now to Georgia, to every other state? They're not working because your magnets and your rare earths would have kicked in, and there wouldn't be a factory in the world that was working.
Don't forget, I put out 8 wars, 9 to come. I think I'll get the other one taken care of. You ready, everybody? This is it. Too late to change after. Should we sign it? China was going to hit us with rare earth.
That's too bad. She's lost a wonderful conservative reputation. But when she says, don't go overseas, if I didn't go overseas, we might be in a war right now with China.
China refused to give magnets because they have a monopoly on magnets because they were allowed to. There wouldn't be a radio, there wouldn't be a television, there wouldn't be internet, there wouldn't be anything because magnets, nobody knows what magnets are, and not overly sophisticated, but to build a magnet system would take 2 years. So we made a great deal. We made an unbelievable deal. China's paying tariffs to the United States, not the United States. The world is the United States because if the world's in trouble or if the world is ripping us off, the world was ripping us off. They were sending us 9-10 million cars a year. We were sending them none.
Could you tell us why you needed to get an MRI? I understand the results were good, but what was it for?
Because it's part of my physical. Getting an MRI is very sad. Well, you think I shouldn't have it? Other people get it. I had an MRI. Here's what the story is. I had an MRI. The doctor said it was the best result he has ever seen as a doctor. That's it.
I happen to believe that the most important warfighting technology is not a new airplane.
Do you think you'll get on the road for the next election?
I'll be
out of my way. I'm not in that way. I'm sorry. If you get an order removed by a federal judge after due process, don't worry about it, because there shouldn't be mass deportations. Over 4,000 aliens died in Nick during historic trip. 250,000 Americans died from fentanyl. One of the reasons no one talks about why we have the most secure border in the history of this nation, and we prosecute. So Catholic Church wrong. I'm sorry. I'm a lifelong Catholic. I'm saying it as not only at borders, because I know some of you here say that's not true, because you're not, that's a criminal conviction. Well, it's not, DUI, I read the ever arrested it, but we're the most non-fugitive, non-criminals, non-public safety threat, non-national security threats. We're the most to get arrested. Rather than giving us the bad guy in the safety and security of the jail, they release him in the community, we go to the community and find him. You just don't commit another crime.